Moving on now to more news coming in regarding the Pakistan-Afghanistan border conflict. Pak has launched air attacks inside Afghanistan, killing at least 10 people and breaking a ceasefire that had brought 2 days of relative calm to the border after an intensive period of bloodshed. According to Afghan officials, 3 young Afghan cricketers amongst 8 civilians were killed in a reported Pakistan aerial strike. The incident occurring shortly after a ceasefire has intensified tensions. The deceased players were identified as Kabir Agha, Sibgatullah and Haroon. The Afghan Cricket Board has responded by withdrawing from an upcoming Tri-Nation series that was scheduled to include Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The series was set to take place in Pakistan from the 17th of November to the 29th of November. The board has also said that the players had travelled from Urgun to Sharana in the eastern Paktika province on the Pakistan border to take part in a friendly match. Afghanistan senior cricketers Mohammed, Nabi and Rashid have condemned Pakistan for the attacks. This is what India has been telling the ICC, and although BCCI did not boycott Pakistan in the recent Asia Cup, there should be no cricket with terror nation. That is what many people are now saying. Also a nation that is now murdering cricketers. Joining us live, Major General Shashi Asthana, defence expert. Also with us, Tos Rizvi, senior sports journalist. Shekhar Vijayan, sports commentator, is also with us live on the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Major General Asthana. What do you make of this shocking news coming in? Pakistan not just targeting civilians, but also targeting sports persons in Afghanistan. What do you believe now should be the action taken against them by the ICC, by Afghanistan and also by the world at large?
See, the whole world must condemn all the actions which Pakistan is taking in terms of violation of sovereignty of a country, of a neighboring country. That's number one. Number two, apparently, Pakistan has got into some kind of a syndrome that because of the embrace by Trump, they have become some kind of Islamic superpower where they can make a Islamic NATO with their nuclear power, and whole lot of people can fall in line, and therefore they can do and get away with certain things which they feel that they are going to do that. There is no doubt that they have the air superiority in comparison to the Afghan forces, but notwithstanding that, the Afghan forces have stood all the superpowers. They have stood America and Russia. So there is no reason that they are going to give in to Pakistan by any stretch of imagination. They are going to retaliate, and they have retaliated. Of course, there was a truce in between, and this truce stands violated. Pakistan's excuse is that the bomb blast which took place in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa perhaps was by TTP, which is being supported by Taliban. That's what the kind of excuse which they give. But then there is a very serious contradiction which is happening. Pakistan's deeds of terrorism and sponsoring terrorism, they are not ending here. There is ISK in Afghanistan, which is being supported by Pakistan, and Taliban is very unhappy with that because they are trying to destabilize them. Now, this is certainly becoming a disturbing news, and the moment there is one attack by the IS anywhere in the Western world, you will find that President Trump will drop them like a brick, as has been the case with Zelensky. Sometimes he embraces him, and sometimes he tells him that you please accept whatever has been lost and get lost from here, and no tomahawk to you. So something like that is going to happen with Pakistan too. But notwithstanding that, as far as the question which you asked, everybody, including the cricket community, must condemn the terrorist state and the terror attack. And I really don't know as to why Sri Lankans go and play in Pakistan, because they were the ones who were actually, there was a terror attack on them, on their team, and they were lucky to extricate in time, but this can get repeated anytime. Now with the kind of attacks which TTP is having, there is a protest going on with the by the TLP. There are BLA is also attacking Pakistan military. The population is against the Pakistan establishment. Under these circumstances, a trilateral series and Sri Lankans, I really don't know as to what their I don't think they do any kind of risk analysis before accepting such commitments. So I think,
but they have withdrawn from that now. We're told they have finally withdrawn from that. We're told.
Okay. So back to you. That's
Tos Rizvi, come in here. Tos Rizvi, is this fit ground now for the ICC to perhaps look at banning Pakistan, a nation that of course is fomenting terror, but now a nation that is attacking cricketers, killing them. The Afghanistan Cricket Board has pulled out of this series. Rashid Khan has even removed the name of, I think, the team he plays for in the PCL. But what action now should the ICC take? Toss Rizvi.
Finally, things are slowly coming out in the open. I mean, I don't know if the cricketers weren't targeted and if they were common man who were targeted, would this have made it to the headlines of the newspapers or the TV channels? But now that cricketers and sports persons have been targeted, ICC should start taking notice of exactly what's happening around. It started from 2009. In fact, before that, 2006, things are happening around in Pakistan. Some way or the other, they have been very, very notorious. They haven't change. They don't want to adopt. They don't want to progress in their life with their neighbors. They don't want to have good relations with their neighbors. So some way or the other, I think, how can cricket happen? Cricket or any other cultural activity or arts can't happen with a nation that is rogue, that doesn't respect human life, that doesn't respect their neighbors. So how can cricket happen? I mean, it shows that Rashid Khan coming out openly saying that, okay, we are not going to play with Pakistan, comes out with an example for a lot of Indian cricketers who could have said the same thing when we were playing the Asia Cup. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, it was not just about India and Pakistan. It was about the other nations as well, because other nations were participating in the Asia Cup, and we are bound, we have obligations as India or as BCCI, one of the head of the part of the committee. So it was more about the other nations rather than playing Pakistan. Anyway, we are not playing bilateral series, which shows that we have already sidelined them. But then it's up to the ICC now. I mean, ICC will have to open their eyes, start banning. When Olympics have IOC have banned Russia, other nations, people, rogue states. Why not Pakistan? I mean, it has come out in the open. Whether you talk about the 2009, they were banned completely after that attack. After 2006, India, yeah, there were a couple of series, but then recent times we have completely sidelined them. Asia Cup, there were obligations. Some way or the other, ICC will have to take a stand, because you can't go ahead and play with a nation that doesn't respect human lives. This is pathetic. I mean, when I heard this news, this was okay, it wasn't surprising coming from Pakistan, but it was definitely sad. Cricketers and innocent lives are being targeted.
Yes, indeed.
Rogue army.
Yes, indeed. Shekhar Vijayan, come in here on, of course, what you make of what has happened, what has transpired. Of course, this is nothing new. Pakistan, and the terror fomented by Pakistan has targeted sports people in the past. We all remember what happened with the Sri Lankan team while they were visiting Pakistan. Other nations as well. Also now Afghanistan facing the wrath of these terrorists, and the army also, which in a way has become a terror army, targeting civilians in this manner, breaking all rules of warfare. Shekhar, what do you make of what has transpired, and what action now should follow?
Well, like what has really transpired in the last 24 hours reminds me of this very important quote from Hillary Clinton, who said that you can't keep snakes in your backyard and expect them to bite only your neighbors. Eventually those snakes are going to turn on whoever has them in the backyard. Pakistan has been a problem in the making for a long time. When they have tried to always integrate, there's been a unique synthesis of terror, religion, and politics and sports, and everything has become like one very bad concoction of crime, which is affecting them now. Now, in the case of Afghanistan, they have taken up. I think Pakistan has a real big problem at the hand. Afghanistan is not a small minnow country. Afghanistan is a country which has a lot of pride in its in its ability. It's also a country which has stood eye to eye to superpowers in the past. And what I really liked there was the Afghanistan Cricket Board. Just going out there and issuing a statement as quickly as possible, and even the players. It just goes to show how much it means to them. This is also very, very bad for world cricket, because if Pakistan is targeting cricketers, and this is not the first time they're doing it, they've done this with Sri Lanka in the past too, then there really needs to be a charter in place by the ICC which speaks about why one should not engage with Pakistan as a cricket nation, or why we should not play sports with them, because this is becoming a problem and this is becoming like a cancer. I would say Pakistan cricket or Pakistan the country is becoming like a cancer in terms of how they're promoting terrorism, how they're promoting crimes, how they're promoting air raids of this manner. This does not augur well for the future. I also believe Afghanistan will not take this lying down. They have a lot of pride at stake. Their own cricketers have been martyred, and they will not take this lying down at all. We will see. Obviously, there will be more action in the coming few days. But I think, from a cricketing perspective, from an ICC perspective, ICC as a governing body has to take a firm stand here. India has been talking about, for the last so many summers, so many winters, about how Pakistan has been a terror nation, how Pakistan has been promoting terrorism, and how, Pakistan has this unique mix of, operating with terrorism, religion, and cricket, and which really does not augur well. So I think they a proper stand which needs to be taken by the ICC board, and all the cricketing nations also need to take a stand, because if their life is not safe, if the cricketer's life is not safe, they should not really play cricket in this manner. And that with a nation which does not understand where the end goal even is. I think it's also because of the fact that in the recent past, the President Donald Trump had spoken very highly about Pakistan. I think they have taken it to heart. They have a complex of some sorts, and they thought that if US talks about us in this manner, they think they are the dawn for all the Muslim countries across the world, which is wrong from all angles. I think what they really need to focus on right now is their own country. They need to focus on controlling terrorism in their own country. Otherwise, this is going to be a problem which they cannot control. It's going to be cancerous for them.
Yes. Let me also, in fact, bring in Sunil Yash Kalra, who I'm being told is also joining us now on the broadcast. Sunil, is the ICC going to take suo motu cognizance of this? Should one of the member countries bring it to the ICC's attention? The way cricketers have had to lose their lives because of one of the member countries of the ICC?
Well, Uday, thank you for having me on your show. Very importantly, I'd like to bring in a background story to it. 2019, ICC has been taking a note of these situations. Unfortunately, only now that ICC has come into under tremendous pressure to put a stop to this, what we call, kind of a nonsense, I would say. 2019, an old elderly gentleman in the World Cup in England was shoved and was, thrown by the Pakistani people. So what happened? A big escalation of problem happened. ICC had to bring in bigger security. 2 years ago in Sharjah, the Afghan fans actually beat the Pakistani fans because they were misbehaving. They also go an extra yard whenever they face in a bilateral or a ICC thing. Now, three things will happen very quickly if I were to say. I've spoken to the ICC official. Unfortunately, the official thing is yet to be out, but what I understand, I'm at the World Cup, Women's World Cup at Sri Lanka, and what I'm understanding right now is three things will happen. A, Rashid Khan and his fellow players will stop playing in PSL, the Pakistan Premier League. That's point number two. Afghanistan will soon come out with their own league. Again, I'm saying Afghanistan will create their own league and have their players play there. Point number three, what will happen is that they will stop all bilateral series everywhere, including in the neutral venues. This is what I understand. And fourth, and the most important thing, is that there will not be any handshake ever if they were to face them in a World Cup that was going to happen in 4 months' time. And also, Rashid Khan is talking to his lawyers. How can he exit the Lahore Qalandars thing as well? Because that's a lucrative deal, and he can very well not play that. Finally, if India has any forward thinking or good, they want to checkmate Pakistan, all they have to do is send their B team, A team, or India A to Afghanistan and play the series at that point of time, show solidarity, and you win back the support. Remember, Uday, at Noida, not far off from your studio, Afghanistan actually was mushroomed and played, and we looked after them at the Afghanistan board by the BCCI. So it is no big, great gesture. I mean, let's Indian take up a stance, go there, play a 3-match, 5-match series as a friendly gesture kind of a thing in Afghanistan itself.
But is it now becoming all the more unlikely that India should play Pakistan even in multilateral events, Major Lastana? Do you believe now there must be a line drawn and the BCCI should take a position?
during the Asia Cup, some gestures which were made by Pakistan players indicated that the terrorist mentality has gone down to the players' mindset as well. So that I think should be taken as a tipping point. And also the fact that after we won the cup, their so-called interior minister decided to take the cup and street gundas take the cup that मैं cup नहीं दूंगा and he takes it to his country and doesn't give it. Now with these kinds of acts, certainly we should now put pressure on ICCI that either you push them out or even in the multilateral tournaments we are not playing. So I think yes, we played a multilateral tournament, that is in the Asia Cup. The experience has not been good, certainly not been good. And thereafter, I think based on that experience, we must take the next call as and when it comes.
Okay, let me take that to you as well, Tos Rizvi. Realistically, what can the BCCI do moving forward? What can the ICC do realistically? And what can perhaps other member nations also do? Perhaps they should also mount pressure. It's time for the international community also to wake up a bit.
Exactly what I've been saying over the time. I mean, it's not just up to the BCCI, it's up to Australia, England. The powerful boards have to come together, sit with the ICC. Jay Shah as the chairman, he knows exactly what's happening. But again, alone he cannot take the. Some way or the other, you have to pound the pressure because you can't play with Pakistan. I mean, I remember I was speaking to one of the local managers of Afghanistan team during the 2023 World Cup, where Rashid Khan and all, when they were playing before playing Pakistan, in fact, while during 2023 World Cup, they had swear to themselves, they had taken an oath that we won't have a drink, we won't take a sip or forget about morsel unless we beat Pakistan. So there has been clashes even before. I mean, they are not in great not on great terms. But again,
okay, I think we
wanted to have whether a sip of water or whether. But again, going back to this thing, it should be a collective decision instead of BCCI alone fighting that battle. BCCI has been doing it for a long time, some way or the other. I mean, I told you before, Asia Cup was an obligation, and it was not just for Pakistan. It was about Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Oman was coming in. Nepal will be playing. Oman will be playing in the upcoming World Cup. Even if the ICC goes ahead with the Pakistan, we may not play in the league games. But what happens in the semi-finals and the knockout stages? We can't move out. We are the host. We are the host of the tournament. Some way or the other, we'll have the whole nation. BCCI will have to take the lead with Afghanistan and and Australia, England, and South Africa. Will have to convince them what steps should be taken. And exactly, you have to be very, very stringent, strict when it comes to Pakistan. I mean, everything is out in the open. Pakistan has been a rogue state for a long time, and the ICC should acknowledge maybe the time of warning is gone. Action should be taken now.
All right. Let me, in fact, quickly go to Sunil Yashkalra, who has a quick intervention. Yes, Sunil, what more can you share with us? I believe you have a quick intervention to make based on what Tos Rizvi was just saying.
Absolutely. I'll take the word rogue. Yes, if ICC needs to do something, is to set their own house in order. In fact, there are several Pakistani origin officials currently working with the ICC. And I'm told, and I understand very clearly, that they were the reason behind some of the problems that occurred. In fact, first, instead of banning a country, you should UAE cricket, and this is run predominantly by the Pakistani officials at a very senior position at ICC and UAE cricket. I think most of the cricket at a neutral venue is happening there. You need to just get them the marching orders, and then finally get some right-minded people, progressive people to take charge within the ICC. That is point number one. Point number two, I think it's time to take the, offer Sharjah cricket more and more rights for Afghanistan to come and play, because if they don't go and play there, there'll be a lot of financial revenue lost to them. So I think India needs to do and get together two more teams to do a tri-nation thing in that particular point of time, if they have to take care of the losses that they have to do. because Afghanistan is definitely going to get under huge losses. Rashid Khan for refusing to play in PSL will be huge loss for them. So I think
Well, he's
Big Brother-
removed his team from his bio already. He's removed his team from his bio already today, Sunil.
Absolutely. So it's very clear.
Yes.
As we were speaking, he was talking to his lawyers. If there is any indemnity that he needs to do or a fine he needs to pay back to the franchisee, because they would have paid him in advance. But take a step back. If this happens, India should stand firm, do a 3-match benefit series. Remember, Uday, in the good old days, benefit series in the favor of whatever player used to happen.
Right.
So we should do a benefit series. Point number 2, ICC should get rid of all the Pakistani officials who favor or leak sensitive information to the Pakistan Cricket Board. Remember, Mohsin Diqvi is a former media newsman, so he knows how to play up an act.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'll leave the last word to Shekhar Vijay on the way forward.
Stand. This is Pakistan cricket is a cancer, and what they're doing right now is not easy for other cricketing nations. This is happening across the world, and I think other cricketing nations should really take a firm stand. Second thing is there should be some kind of charter in place which the ICC has, which says specifically how to be engaged with Pakistan. And the third thing is Pakistan needs to be taught a lesson. And I'm saying they need to be taught a lesson. There needs to be a very clear answer which is given to them. Otherwise, they really get away with this. And also to add on to what Sunil Bhai said, I think it's also important that Pakistan has got their representation there in ICC. In terms of being an umpire in different different bodies there. I don't think we should even allow that. They need to be taught a lesson. They need to understand that they cannot be a part of the decision-making process. So I think ICC has to take a firm stand. India can really take a stand here because India has got the financial muscle. India can really hold benefit matches with Afghanistan. And Uday, I think amongst all of us, we all know that Afghanistan is a much more stronger, much more talented country than Pakistan. So
Right.
I'm sure Afghanistan will take this strongly and will do what they need to do.
My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this discussion. We've run out of time. Let's slip into a short break.